Deputy Michael Healy-Rea, please. 3 minutes, Deputy.
Taoiseach and particularly Minister McGrath, what I want to bring to your attention here today is this report which was published in 2011, Time to Move On from Congregated Settings. Now, this was a strategy for community inclusion. Now, I obviously welcome the fact that, yes, there are people who are in institutions that should not have been and that should be integrated into our community. But I want to say to you, Taoiseach and Minister, there were 72 institutions that weren't institutions. There were communities. There were living, breathing communities. For instance, the example I would use here today is St Mary of the Angels in Beaufort in County Kerry, who gave excellent service along with all of the other 72 centres. In Kerry we had Glebe Lodge in Castle Island, we also had the Kerry Cheshire Home in Killarney, and obviously St Mary of the Angels. Now, my problem with this report is, it's closing down these facilities. These facilities were centres of excellence for dealing with people with intellectual and physical disabilities. And I'm talking about people who would have profound disabilities and who would be unable or incapable of living in communities. Their parents realise this. Their carers realise this. But at this time, these institutions are no longer taking in what I would call new people with these disabilities. So, what is the answer for those parents? The young parents of today who have a child and who just are not able to cater for them at home. There is no place for them to go. We're closing down centres of excellence. Well, sorry now, Minister, but there is confusion. This lady here in yesterday's Irish Examiner, Claire O'Sullivan, she said that the manager of St Mary's said St Mary of the Angels is not closing down. But you then, Minister, he said the HSE had met with public representatives and were clear in stating that St Mary of the Angels will close over time. So my problem is that we don't want them to close. They're doing excellent work. With 4,000 people living in 72 what I would call communities covered in this report, it is proposed to ensure that there will be no further admissions and no further need for congregated settings. If nobody is being taken in, effectively this is closing every one of these facilities down. And what is going to happen with young people who need somewhere to go that can't be kept at home? So what I'm saying to you, Minister McGrath, and to you, Taoiseach, I want you to come to Kerry, both of you. Look at St Mary of the Angels as an example of the service that is being provided to these people. And then go on some forum like Radio Kerry and explain to the parents, explain to the mothers and the fathers and the relatives why these people are going to see their excellent facilities being closed down. I appreciate that when this report was compiled, people did so in good faith and they had good reason for doing so. But the message here is, one shoe does not fit all sizes. And by doing this, it's a retrograde step.
Taoiseach. Deputy Healy-Rea for his question. The time to move on from congregated settings found that there were quite a number of people still experiencing institutional living conditions where their conditions were not right in this day and age. Good progress has been made. In 2008, 4,000 people resided in congregated settings. In September 2014, there were approximately 3,200. Today, that's down to 2,225. Now, Minister McGrath announced a funding of 20 million in June for the HSE to move people out of congregated settings, and that funding will be used to relocate about 165 people living in 14 institutions in different places around the country. I want to say to Deputy Healy-Rea, the focus here has to be on the person concerned, as you're well aware. Now, with regard to St Mary's of the Angels, it's important to say that, first of all, there is no imminent closure involved here. No imminent closure. Secondly, the HSE is consulting with the families and the local community to find the best solution for each individual. And I understand that St John of God's services have acknowledged that communications should have been better here and could have been better, so that everybody would know actually what was involved. It's important, however, to point out that both the Government and the HSE, that it's their policy to move on from congregated settings in the best interests of the individuals, and that be done in a planned and a phased way. Now, on the 18th of September, A family forum meeting took place. Discussions were held around HICWA inspections and decongregation. Concerns were raised, and many family members were concerned that their relative would not be suitable for community living. Some attendees said that not enough information was given to them around the decongregation policy. Assurances were given that this was being done on a phased basis through the use of what they call community transition plans, and that it would only apply, Deputy Healy-Rea, only apply if it improved the life of the individual and the quality of life of the individual. It was agreed that a family representative group would be set up and that a meeting with the senior management of St John of God Kerry Services was agreed. On the 28th of September, family members of all service users on the campus were contacted on an individual basis, and reassurance provided to them that they would be fully consulted and involved in any changes relating to their family members currently living in St Mary's of the Angels. On the 5th of October, representatives of St John of God Services and the HSE Disability Services met with a family representative group to discuss the concerns that had been outlined by the family members. Representatives also met with public representatives on the 17th of October to brief the group on the time to move out of congregation settings. You know, in a second, I can't call it. So, notwithstanding these actions, St John of God did say that there were deficiencies here. Point out to you. There are currently 77 adults, Count with intellectual disabilities residing on the campus. Of these, 17 are accommodated in an old-style ward. It's not suitable in this day and age, and it does not meet national standards for residential accommodation. So it's understood that they will not be the first people to move out, Deputy Healy-Rea, but that they may move to more suitable accommodation within the campus.
Thank you, Taoiseach.
So you can take it that there's going to be far more discussion and engagement here with everybody before anything is done in respect of any individual.
Deputy Healy-Rea, you have a minute.
Thank you, Taoiseach. But you see, while you say St Mary of the Angels, its closure is not imminent, you haven't said to me, yes, it will not close. Because the truth is, if the people are not being taken in any more, by natural progression through death and the passage of time, the buildings will become empty and they will not continue to do what they have been doing in the past, and that is provide excellent care. And where are these people supposed to go to? Because living in what you call the communities outside of congregated settings is not suitable for all cases. And Taoiseach, you know this in your own constituency. You know that there are young people who have profound disabilities, who are incapable of having suitable accommodation for them in a village or in a town of any setting. They need to be in what I would call a centre of excellence. And this is the one thing that I want recognised. I want recognised that these 72 centres, homes, call them whatever you like, the carers, the managers, the workers, the people that have worked in these facilities have given excellent care over the years. And now we are breaking that up. Why are we breaking it up? We are taking for granted that this report is excellent and that it's right and that it's perfect. It is not. It's not answering the problem for future people who will have profound physical and mental disabilities. We need to have a proper place for them to go to, and we're breaking that up, Count Caller, for no good reason. For no good reason.
Taoiseach, a minute to conclude, please.
Well, I think, Deputy Healy-Rea, you will appreciate that we have moved beyond the point now where everybody might be institutionalised in these kind of settings. And that's not to decry the service given by the staff in these settings over the years. Obviously, we've had difficulties in some of them, one notable case in the West some time ago. But the point here is that there are people currently living in institutions like this who can benefit from moving back into their own community where the services are provided for them, and indeed in some cases, as Minister McGrath has pointed out, from some places in Dublin where staff have moved with them, and the change and the benefit and the quality of life that they have is so much better. Now, let me assure you that every one of the individuals in the institution has a caseworker appointed to them. There would be nothing done without that full consultation. And I know of as every public rep does, where you get a really good home care package for a person, irrespective of the scale of challenge they face. It's better for them to be with their own families, in their own communities, and have the services provided for them. Yes, there are some persons who have an extreme range of issues, and some of these here may find accommodation on the existing campus. So, as I say, there is no immediate or imminent closure of this, and there will be proper and full and thorough consultation in the interests of each of the individuals before any decision is made.
Thank you, Taoiseach.